Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and yeah, a little bonus video today. I didn't actually expect to be making this, but I have gotten a lot of emails this morning asking if what you are looking at right now is an April Fool's Day joke, is this Uber changing their ways? And so even though I thought it would be pretty obvious what was going on, I guess some people aren't in the loop, so we're gonna let them know. But as of today, admittingly, as of April 1st, 2019, this might have been one of the confusing factors. We are not, not accepting new for hire vehicle driver signups in New York City due in part to new TLC regulations. Now, what are they talking about? Well, here's what they're talking about. Remember, New York City basically is getting on Uber's butt. I mean, many people have said, well, Uber drivers make $28 an hour, which I don't think that's actually true. In fact, it seems like there's a lot of way Uber's getting around that as far as I'm aware. But you are well aware that New York City is imposing some sort of theoretical price limit on New York City Uber drivers, where it's like they have to make, in theory, a certain amount. Well, they also passed a cap on the vehicles where they said you cannot let so many vehicles on the road. You can get to this point and then you have to cut them off. And here's the thing. I bet you there are some people who will probably be let go as a result of this, because the TLC regulations do state that there can only be so many Uber vehicles actively driving at a single time. Now, here's the thing. New York has always played by very, very different rules. That's why I'm not very good at covering them sometimes, because they had tipping long before any of us had tipping. And I think to drive an Uber, you actually have to have a TLC license. I don't think you can just sign up and be anyone and just drive. I think you actually have to have some sort of business license to drive in New York City. Not 100% certain. Don't drive there, but I do know that New York City does things very, very differently. What's funny here is that, here's the thing, you can create an account to join the waitlist to drive with Uber in NYC. We're sorry for the inconvenience. There are still plenty of ways to earn with Uber. In the meantime, please consider delivering with Uber Eats or driving with Uber outside of the 5 boroughs. We hope to partner with you in the future. Now, this says a couple things. First of all, now you're like, you have to go on a wait list to drive for Uber. A job most people agree sucks at this point, at least in terms of pay. But you can do for Uber Eats. And this is kind of why I've been telling people, be careful about the legislation that you pass, because the companies find loopholes around certain things. And this is how they can start getting new drivers without them actually driving, have them do Uber Eats. So here's the thing. If you want to drive in New York City, I guess you're not going to do this. I'm going to be really curious, though, about how this is going to affect Uber going forward in terms of driver retention. Because one of the reasons Uber likes having drivers that can just sign up whenever they want is because, they lose a lot of drivers. They lose about a third of their drivers every 90 days or something. It's something crazy like that. Maybe it's every quarter. I don't remember the exact terminology, but there's a reason Uber and Lyft are always trying to get more and more drivers into their circle, because they just need them. They lose too many of them and they just need them. Now they have a car cap, which means they now have to have a wait list. And granted, maybe that wait list will always be there and they won't ever have to worry about this, but some people might get on the wait list, and if they have to wait a couple months and then they get an email, hey, you're ready to drive for Uber, they might go like, sort of got another job, moved on. So I'm kind of curious how this is going to affect driver retention and their ability to provide a service. Because I'd like to think ideally, with enough people being overturned and maybe people not willing to get on with a convoluted sign-up process that requires a wait list, and maybe you can drive soon, but hey, I need to pay my bills now, so I'm gonna look for other work in the meantime, and I might get another job before Uber gets around to getting back to me. I'm kind of hoping that creates a situation where Uber is actually forced to pay their drivers better, to treat them better, to give them better bonuses, to drive for them, because they don't want to go through this hassle. So this is going to be a very, very fascinating experiment. I even remember like on one of the podcasts, we discussed this rule, and I think me and Cecily were for it. Mike was kind of a wait and see approach, and Mark was against it. We all agreed that it was going to be fascinating to see what this actually did to the driving industry in New York City when it actually got implemented. Well, April Fool's 1st, which, you know, is not an April Fool's joke. I'm sorry, it just isn't. You cannot just sign up and drive for Uber. They're not accepting new for-hire vehicle driver signups. So we're going to see what happens now. You can still drive for Uber Eats in New York City, though. So I'm kind of wondering if that's like the next thing they're going to attack, the lawmakers, I say. If they're going to attack the Uber Eats, you know, so this is going to be interesting. So anyway, little bonus video today, a little bit of a short one, not an April Fool's Day joke. I know Dustin did like a April Fool's joke, and that jerk, I actually almost felt sorry for him for a moment, but no. If you watch Dustin's video, you're gonna have to watch till the very end before you comment, because he's pulling your leg just a little bit on that one, and I don't mind spoiling that because I hate April Fool's Day with a passion. But anyway, we're gonna leave it there. And what do you folks think? Did you want to sign up for Uber in New York City and now find you can't do that? Are you on a wait list? How do you feel about this? I'd love to know. So comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. As always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. Oh yeah, also don't forget to check us out on Facebook, the Apptrepreneur Hangouts. Catch you later.